Coming up on the Having It All Show, Episode 10, an exciting new cure for AIDS, herpes, and Lyme disease.
Welcome to Having It All, Lifestyles of the Rich and Conscious with MarBeth Dunn, featuring experts and pioneers in health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality, creating a happier, healthier, wealthier you.
Welcome to the Having It All Show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Conscious. I'm your host, MarBeth Dunn, empath, intuitive, coach, mentor, best-selling author, and creator of the Spiritual Wealth Activation System, a step-by-step process to create miracles and abundance. If you're a frequent listener, thank you for subscribing to our show. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. If you like what you hear, please join us weekly by subscribing to the show. Visit TheHavingItAllShow.com/ITC, then click the blue View in iTunes button to subscribe. And if you love us, please rate and review as well. Coming up, after years of experimentation and modification, Tom Paladino has developed a revolutionary new technology that transmutes over 55,000 pathogens, including AIDS, herpes, and Lyme disease. Tom, thank you so much for joining me here on Having It All. So happy that you're able to share amazing knowledge with our listeners.
I'm honored to be here, MarBeth. Thank you for the invitation.
Wow. Well, let's cut to the chase. As you said earlier, you like to cut to the chase, and I do too. What is scalar energy?
We are all familiar with scalar energy. I believe everybody in the world is an expert, whether you realize that or not. Scalar energy is everywhere in the universe. The sun of our solar system, the stars emanate scalar energy. So our entire universe is filled with scalar energy. And scalar energy finds its way into our everyday lives. Our bodies are assembled and maintained by scalar energy. Scalar energy is responsible for our thoughts or our emotions. So to answer that question, scalar energy is omnipresent. It's the energy, the light form of the universe that is responsible for all life, for all instructions in the universe. And that's just the beginning as to what we understand now about scalar energy, and where this energy will lead us in the future is just incredible. It's going to change our society.
Wow, that's amazing. So scalar energy is in everything. I know as an energy healer, I work with prana and chi. We inhale it in the air that we breathe. And to understand that this is a part of every living thing in the universe gives us an idea of what it is. So how do you work with it?
I've developed scalar energy instruments in which I can control. I can actually have mastery over this energy. It's been no small doing on my part, and I've had help from researchers in the past. Nonetheless, I have scalar energy instruments that can control this energy. Again, what I have is the life force of the universe. It's the very fundament that provides the instructions, the order for the universe. If you've heard the term order out of chaos, it's scalar energy that allows us to have order out of chaos in the universe.
So what's the difference between scalar energy and electromagnetic energy?
All energy initiates in the universe as scalar energy. The sun, the stars produce scalar energy initially. And then sadly, scalar energy breaks down or converts into electricity and magnetism. My preference is that of scalar energy. Scalar energy is perfect energy, perfect intelligence, whereas electromagnetic energy, electricity and magnetism, is really imperfect energy, and it is not. Electromagnetic energy does not have the promise as that of scalar energy.
So would you say that the difference between scalar energy and electromagnetic energy is like having a unified field as opposed to polarity?
Correct. That's a good point. We've heard the term zero-point energy or universal life force. All of that speaks to the point that scalar energy is indeed that unifying energy. It's the energy of the universe. It's everywhere, And once we understand that, we will see what benefits can be derived from scalar energy.
So now you are using this scalar energy, and now do you have a machine that directs the scalar energy?
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes, that's the key. If you will, I do have a scalar energy instrument, and I almost in many terms, I could say that I have a miniature star. I have star power in my laboratory, which is true and accurate. I have the energy of the stars, and in so doing, I can perform incredible feats with this energy that you cannot achieve with electricity. So I have indeed developed and perfected scalar energy instruments that allow me to control and to master scalar energy.
Now you have used these tools to eliminate pathogens?
That's correct. One of the things that I've recognized about scalar energy is responsible for all intermolecular forces. If you're a physicist, you might enjoy this. Any ionic bond or hydrogen bond, all of that we consider to be the bonding, the actual order, the structuring of atoms and molecules, all of that energy comes from somewhere. And frankly, it is scalar energy that is the governing principle for all intermolecular forces. Hence, in order to have any atom or molecule, you have to have intelligence and something that holds together those forms. Well, that's what scalar energy is. Scalar energy is the intelligence as well as the energy that holds together all physical forms. So with that statement, if I have a scalar energy instrument, then I can start controlling those intermolecular forces. I can control atomic and molecular forces. In so doing, I've developed a technique with scalar energy in which I can break apart physical forms. In particular, I've devoted my research to breaking apart to disassembling pathogens, such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and protozoan. And to this point, I'm at the point now in my research where I can say I routinely and easily break apart pathogens. So with that statement, we have with scalar energy the means to cure pathogenic disease.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I routinely break apart, disassemble the herpes virus. People will come to me and they'll complain that they've had herpes infections, some of them for as long as 20, 30 years. And with scalar energy, I'm able to break apart the herpes virus. I can actually break down the intermolecular forces that hold together the herpes virus. Well, in so doing, I can eradicate the herpes virus. Hence, I have the cure for herpes, as well as thousands of other pathogenic diseases. Scalar energy allows me to break apart, to transmute the herpes virus. In so doing, the virus falls apart and it no longer is a viable living microorganism. I've reduced the virus into proteins and perhaps elements such as carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. And the long and short of it is this: scalar energy breaks apart the herpes virus and the person is cured of herpes.
We'll be back to our show in just a moment. Would you agree that the current state of the world is angry, chaotic, turbulent, and possibly insane? And that's not even mentioning everyone's personal issues. We all need miracles, and now is the time. I'm MarBeth Dunn, the Miracle Mama. Imagine a river of miracles flowing into your life, bringing harmonious relationships, better health, prosperity, clarity, peace of mind, and a deep sense of joy. What if you could know all your needs are being met and feel calm and peaceful even in the midst of turbulent change? Get your free guide now, 7 Easy Ways to Harness the Power of Miracles at miracles101.com. That's miracles101.com and live your miraculous life. So you can access the virus where it might be hiding in the body's, maybe in the cells or in nooks and crannies in the body. Your scalar energy will seek them out and is selective as to it's going to eradicate the herpes but not interfere with normal healthy cells.
That's correct. That's the beauty of it. My scalar energy instrument targets the pathogens, the germs, leaving the body untouched, if you will. I have that precision, I have that control over my scalar energy instrument. My instrument is no different than that of a computer or a car or a plane. Provided you have control over your car, you can make your car do exactly what you want the car to do. Well, likewise, with my scalar energy instrument, I have precise control over this instrument. And I can easily, again, break apart any pathogen from head to toe, anywhere in the body, and leave the rest of the body unscathed.
Well, that's fabulous. Now, I've worked with energy for years, but in an entirely different way. You know, I've done energy healing and Reiki and worked with consciousness and the life force energy, the scalar energy as well. And I'm very fascinated with your process because I think it's so exciting that you can, with a laser focus, eradicate, you said 55,000 pathogens?
That's correct. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And it really is, and that list continues to grow every day. My goal is soon I think I will have at least 200,000 pathogens in which I will be able to eradicate with scalar energy. So this is the beauty of again, what we're doing. It's a painless, harmless procedure. I'm working with light. It's non-physical. Obviously, it's not a chemical. And I'm able to easily break apart a pathogen, any type of microbe, eradicate it from the body, and the body returns to health. This is going to prove to be the cure for thousands of diseases.
That's amazing. Although we have our pharmacological society, pharmacological driven society, and there's a lot of money involved in that. But we won't get into that right now. I'm just really fascinated with the way that this works. Now, you work with people remotely with photographs.
That's correct. Scalar energy, again, is a different type of energy than that of electricity. And one of the beauties of scalar energy, one of its wonderments, is that I can access anybody in the world. And I only need a photograph of that person. And the way that works is any photograph has scalar energy attached to it. Remember, scalar energy is everywhere, including on a photograph. So if I want to access you anywhere in the universe, all I need is your photograph, which acts as a cell phone or as a radio. If two cell phones can speak to one another, then I can send energy, a signal to you by way of your photograph. And this is, again, one of the wonderments of scalar energy, proving that this indeed is a universal energy in which there's no impediment. That's the beauty of what we're working with. This is the energy of the future.
Well, I totally understand the ability. Well, I don't say I totally understand, but I'm able to use distant healing myself. And I've worked with people as far away as Australia. I'm in Miami and in Florida and the Far East. And so I do understand that there is no distance in reality and that it's possible to do this. But it's so exciting that you're able to do this with laser focus and do this scientifically so that you're able to replicate the results. And I understand you've had some amazing results.
Yes, we have. I'll go on record. I'm not in any way reserved to make these statements. I have the cure for herpes. I have the cure for AIDS. I have the cure for tuberculosis. These pathogenic diseases, these diseases caused by germs, I am able to eradicate these pathogens, these germs, and I'm able hence to cure these diseases that have afflicted mankind for millennia. So my statement is this: today, I have the means to cure thousands of diseases with scalar energy. I do it easily. I do it routinely with my scalar energy instrument. That's the beauty of what we're working with.
So you actually have worked with people with HIV and with herpes, and they are 100% free of the diseases.
That's correct. And how do I prove that? Well, many of these people have submitted to a DNA test, or some people call it a viral load test or a polymerase chain reaction test. And the long and short of it is this: after I treat people, many people will have a diagnostic test, and eventually that diagnostic test will come back with no viral load. Hence, people will no longer have a viral load of herpes or the HIV virus. And most importantly, their symptoms abate. So the evidence is proving that scalar energy is indeed eradicating the herpes virus as well as the HIV virus. Hence, with that, we realize now that we have the cure for herpes and AIDS. This is just the beginning. This is going to eventually springboard, and soon I believe the world will take hold of this and will take note that we finally have a cure for these infectious diseases.
That's absolutely amazing. Wow, what the future holds in terms of the ability to change these diseases. Now, what about cancer?
Cancer is another project of mine. I do not have the cure for cancer. I believe with another type of scalar energy approach, another modality utilizing scalar energy, I should be able to make inroads on cancer, but that's a year or two down the road.
What unique experiences have you witnessed when you're working with scalar energy in your lab?
Scalar energy is a different dimension. When I work with scalar energy, it's no longer an electromagnetic dimension. It's a different force field. It's a scalar energy force field. And sometimes I recognize in my laboratory, if I have my cell phone close to me or on my person, my cell phone will travel in time. That is, my cell phone will bring back messages, recorded messages that might be a year or two old. Meaning what? That scalar energy is really responsible for time. Time is a consequence of scalar energy. And hence, if I have a cell phone or a TV in close proximity to my scalar energy instrument, those devices will start traveling back in time, and recorded programs that might be, again, a year or two old, or phone messages that are a year or two old, might once again present themselves on my cell phone or on my TV. That has actually happened a number of times.
That's very cool. Yes.
Yeah.
I understand that, working with scalar energy, that you can go forwards and backwards in time, because I've done that in working with my clients as well. So I do understand that that's possible, but I've never seen that happen with cell phone or TV. That's very, very cool. Wow. I'll tell you, Tom, this has really been so fascinating.
What you've heard today about scalar energy is just the beginning. You will soon see that scalar energy will have a very significant impact in your lives, a very favorable impact. And with this technology, we will see life change for the better. That's the purpose of my research, to ensure the happiness of mankind, to catapult mankind forward. I believe scalar energy will be one of the tools that we will use to catapult mankind forward.
Wonderful. Tom Paladino, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you, MarBeth. I appreciate it.
To learn more about Tom Paladino, to connect with him on social media, get his contact information, learn more about scalar energy, visit his show page on TheHavingItAllShow.com. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to The Having It All Show and never miss an episode. Visit TheHavingItAllShow.com, and there in the banner on the top of the page, you'll see a red "Subscribe for free on iTunes" button. Looking for more wealth and wellness? Visit TheHavingItAllShow.com, download your free guide, 5 Steps to Wealth and Wellness and the Pitfalls to Avoid. That's TheHavingItAllShow.com. That's our show. See you next week.
Join MarBeth next week on The Having It All Show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Conscious. Visit TheHavingItAllShow.com now to learn more about MarBeth and her special guests and download your free report.